This is BBC 5 Live. 5 Live Drive with Sarah Brett and Tony Livesey.
4:41. The UK is seeing a boom in cannabis cafes, which are opening at a rate of around 2 a month. There are now thought to be more than 160 around the country. The drug's currently illegal in the UK, and possession can end in a 5-year prison sentence. The clubs don't allow dealing on the premises, but say they're creating a space where users can share cannabis and socialise without judgment. Assistant Chief Constable Jason Harwin from Cleveland Police is also the lead for drugs with the National Police Chiefs Council.
The issue we have around it is this is one of many things that we have to deal with. So again, in terms of prioritisation, yes, it's an illegal offence. We will take action where we can take action. By the time we find out where premises have been, it's already closed down. We're moving on to something else.
Greg de Hoedt is chairman of the UK Cannabis Clubs. Hello, Greg.
Hello, Greg. Hiya, Tony. How are you doing?
I'm all right, yeah.
I'm all right.
Oh, I can hear myself. I presume everybody else can. Never mind. We'll find a way around that, Greg. But in the meantime, Greg, I mean, what's going on in these clubs is illegal. How do you justify it?
I don't know. How do you justify criminalising people that aren't committing a crime or aren't really causing harm to anyone in the first place?
Yeah.
Which is an unjust crime. There's no victim here, so there really shouldn't be a crime.
That in a way is a separate argument. I guess what I'm not being critical, Greg. I'm just kind of putting the obvious questions to you. But people would say, why not just do it in the comfort of your living room? Why kind of flout the law by doing it in public when you've heard the police there say, look, if we had enough resources, we would come and get you?
Why should people have to hide inside their own homes if they want to consume cannabis? Why can't they socialise with another person that enjoys it too, not in their home? Some people want to get out. For the cannabis social clubs, they're a good safe space for a lot of patients who use cannabis as a medicine.
Yeah,
I've got Crohn's disease myself. I was diagnosed in 2009. In 2010, they told me I was actually going to die. I went to California, Colorado, Oregon, and Washington. I got access to medical cannabis oil out there, and I came back with a full bill of health. My doctors, I came off the chemotherapy drugs that I'm on. I avoided the surgery that I was going to have, that would have left me with a bag. And, while I was using the medication they gave me, I was just trapped at home. I couldn't really do anything. And I had no social life. All my friends that I was growing up with sort of like discarded me. They thought, oh, right, you're sick now. You're probably going to die. We don't want to be your friend. And, that's quite a sad situation to be in. So I kind of set out on this mission to kind of create these cannabis social clubs. It was a safe space for people like me who aren't committing, any real harm to anyone, and to go in and be in and to consume our cannabis in a safe space with other patients and people who can grow it. We can share information and generally keep this kind of activity off of the streets.
Yeah, yours is an astonishing story, and for those people who use cannabis as medication, there are some extraordinary stories. I just wonder, Greg, do you not worry? I'm coming from my personal point of view now. If I was doing something that I knew technically was illegal, even if the police weren't taking action at that particular time, I'd just worry about it. I'd be sat there in the cafe, kind of worried that one day that raid might come. Has your organisation ever been given any tacit agreement from the authorities that actually, look, we will turn a blind eye as long as you don't grow too big or anything like that?
Yeah, I did. I mean, in some areas that is the case, but I used to sit at home thinking, God, what if I'm just going to die? What if I don't go and get access to this medical cannabis to try and help me? And the case is, patients can't get medical cannabis through the legal channels, even though they've just been opened up. There's these little loopholes that the government have put in there to actually prevent people from actually accessing it. If your specialist thinks you can be prescribed, they can prescribe it to you. They're going to they have to turn around and ask another specialist, and that other specialist might disagree with them, and that means the patient isn't going to get access to medicine. So I think that's more of a concern for our people at the moment. Yes, people are concerned that the clubs could get shut down, but at the moment, people are being raided in their own homes for consuming and growing their own cannabis. And really, we just need to give people the right to grow at home. It's not. People are scared at home already, growing their own medicine, growing cannabis because they don't want to use alcohol, or they don't want to use tobacco, they don't want to use strong drugs. I just want to relax and enjoy their
No, I see that. I see that. Listen, Greg, the line's not good, but I just want to ask one more question. You must be, at least in a way, heartened by what you've seen happening in some American states, and particularly in Canada at the moment, that if those experiments go well, then there's probably a stronger argument, is it, to push it in this country for the legalisation of cannabis?
Yeah, 100%. But at the same time, we can't wait. We've been waiting for 20, 40 years, some of us. If you told me I have to wait another 10 years for them to give me access to recreational cannabis, because that's the only way I can access it, the healthcare that I need at the moment, because the NHS isn't giving me the access to it, even though I've got a life-threatening illness. People are just going to carry on breaking the law. So we need to give people the right to grow. We need to give people. We need to decriminalise it for everyone, really, not just for medical use, but we need to decriminalise it across the board. It's unjust.
Greg, good to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
There we are, Greg Hoedt, chairman of UK Cannabis Clubs. We said there's more than 160 cannabis cafes around the UK now. He said there, didn't he, that in some areas there's a tacit agreement with the authorities that no action will be taken. I'm sure the authorities would probably deny that, but nevertheless, what do you make of what he's had to say? Text us 85058 at BBC 5 Live.
Well, I mean, even if you just look at it at face value, the fact that he was given 3 to 5 years to live in 2010 and travelled to the US for cannabis oil treatment and has since come around, it's a pretty extraordinary coincidence if it had nothing to do with it.
Let us know your thoughts. We've got our beady eyes at the moment on a big wooden door at the White House. We're waiting for Donald Trump to walk through to his lectern and react to last night's midterm election results. We'll bring you him live the moment. We'll interrupt everything on the programme to insert Donald Trump as soon as he appears. It's 4:47.